Hi students, welcome back to our class. This is Swarpa ma'am. See here, today we will start connective tissue ma. See here, we have different types of tissues, you know very well, muscular tissue, connective tissue, nervous tissue, epithelial tissue. Okay, today we will learn deeply about the connective tissue. Okay na? See here, connective tissues. See here, these connective tissues connects mainly, even blood is also a connective tissue ma. This is a fluid material, but it is a connective tissue. Even blood is also connective tissue. Okay na? Bones are also connective tissue. Bones are also connective tissue. They are connecting. They are connecting. They are giving a support. They are giving support to our body. Okay na? So this is about the connective tissue. These connective tissues mainly they gives us support movement of the body. Completely they have given certain functions here ma. See here, connective tissues, there are in displacements. These tissues connect organs and muscles. Organs and muscles. Now example, we will go for the bone. Okay, so we are going for the bone. Bone is an organ. Bones are organs. Okay na? Bones are organs, and we have muscle tissues also. Muscle tissues. Okay na? So we have number of muscles, nothing but made up of tissues. Those are connected to the bones. Okay, bones are getting supported with the muscles. Bone is a connective tissue. Bone is a connective tissue. Now in this connective tissue we have an areolar tissue ma. Areolar tissue. This tissue, this is a connective tissue which is composed of number of cells in that one. Okay na? See here, number of cells always will give rise to tissues, you know very well. Okay na? Number of cells will give rise to tissues. Here number of different types of cells are holded or embedded in a single tissue called as areolar tissue. That is called as areolar tissue. In this areolar tissue, what are the different cells here? First one, see here, in like this ma, in different straighted stripes like this. Okay, this is the outermost one, which is also embedded with the nucleus and number of different other types of cells they have not mentioned here. In a straight one, these are called as yellow elastic fibers. They are in yellow color. Those are in yellow color which are present in the areolar tissue. So these are yellow elastics. Okay, now here this is another type of tissue called as phagocyte. Phagocyte, ma, see here, whatever any antigen is coming outside like bacteria or virus is coming. Okay, let's think phagocyte structure is this one. So this is an antigen which is not suitable for our body like bacteria, foreign particle. Okay na? So when it comes into this area, it engulfs like this. Okay, it is engulfing in this method. They will intake and digest. Okay, digest in its body, in the cell. Okay, this is the cell itself. It is engulfing the food. What we will call ma? Engulfing the food. Which food? This one. Okay, now what happens after engulfing? It will digest here by releasing some enzymes. Okay, mainly this phagocyte cell function is what? Engulfing means intake the antigens or food material and digesting there. Okay na? Food materials like antigens, foreign particles which is not suitable for our body. Foreign particles I am telling, means maybe anything, maybe any bacteria, virus, fungi, anything which is not suitable when it enters. This is engulfed by the phagocyte. This is major one ma, mainly like it provides security for our body. Okay, next thing is this striped one. These are called as white fibers. These are called as white fibers. So compulsory a tissue is made up of number of cells, also made up of fibers also made up of fibers also. Here we have another cell called as a fibroblast. We are calling it as a fibroblast. So all the cells, different cells embedded in a single tissue, we will call it as a areolar tissue. Areolar tissue. So this connective tissues, mainly connective tissue, we have came to know about areolar tissue. There is another tissue also called ma, that is adipose tissue. Adipose tissue. Okay, see here adipose tissue. If you go for adipose tissue, sometimes see here these are the different types of cells here with large intercellular spaces. Okay, I am drawing with large intercellular space. In the space in between some type of tissue is present, that is called as adipose tissue. Adipose tissue contains mainly fats, okay, fats, oils, okay. Now these fats and oils act as an insulators, okay, for our body, Insulators means see here, when winter, lot of winter season is present, in winter very cool, okay, it is very cool. So during very cool, our body should tolerate, and it should body should release an heat. We should tolerate from such winters. How can we tolerate? When certain fat content is stored. Fat means not by overeating, some compulsory beneath the cell there should be a fat content which has to be stored in the form of adipose tissue, which is stored in the form of adipose tissue like this. That time only we can tolerate from the shivering, okay, from winter seasons and very cold conditions. If this adipose tissue is less, we may shiver so much and our body may not tolerate the cool conditions, okay. So this is about adipose tissue. Next we will go into another connective tissue, okay. So that is bone tissue. Bone tissue, see here, another connective tissue. There are two types of bones. One is hard bone, hard bone, okay, hard bone. Another one is cartilage bone. See here, if you go for the structure of hard bone, this is a hard bone, you know very well. This is a hard bone and we have a cartilage bone here. So this hard bone cells, we will call it as osteocyte cells, okay. Site itself we can call it as cells. The cells which are present in bones, we will call it as osteocytes, okay. So osteocytes, how they are arranged right now, see here, I will draw here. In the center we have Haversian canal, around this there is a neck like bone is very hard. Why it is hard? Because it is covered with, it is embedded with the number of osteocyte cells. See here, Haversian canal, this is Haversian canal, and here we have canaliculima, this way they are interconnected with each other. See here, this is the structure, very little bit complex structure is present here. See here, this is a Haversian canal in the center, little bit just like a space or lumen is present, space is present. This is called as a Haversian canal where the fluids may transfer. We can't tell Haversian canal, don't imagine this one, the space for the bone marrow. This is the bone, hard bone. In the center what we eat, you know very well, during when we eat non-vegetarian, the center one is nothing but bone marrow. So don't imagine that this bone marrow is the Haversian canal, okay. We are talking about the cells of this one only. These are the cells which are very hard bone cells, covering the bone marrow. So these hard cells we are drawing here. So compulsory, there are many number of Haversian canals. Haversian canals are connected with the canaliculi, network-like structures. Hard network-like structures, these are called as canaliculi. These canaliculi embed or contains a cells called as osteocytes. See here, this is a bone cell. Osteo means bone, cyte means cell, okay. So osteocytes, bone cells. Here also I have written as completely as a osteocyte, because number of osteocyte cells are present, bone cells are present, which are linked with the canaliculi. Okay, so this complete set we will call it as osteon. We are calling it as a osteon. Okay, this is a hard bone. Mainly it is giving a skeletal system for us. Skeletal system. Okay, so completely bone system is called a skeletal system. Number of bones will be there like this. Okay, number of bones are there which are jointed, here. Compulsory bones are made up of calcium carbonate. First thing is made up of calcium carbonates, calcium phosphates. Calcium phosphate, it is also made up of calcium phosphate. So if we go into the inside, it has a bone marrow. Here it is a tip ball like structure. Okay ma. So in the tip region also, there is a bone, cartilaginous bone. Okay, what is that bone? Mainly which is flexible, we will call that bone has a cartilaginous bone. Okay, so this cartilaginous bone mainly it is flexible like this tip of the nose, tip of the ear pinna, and cartilage bones. Mainly it is also seen in the external ears. Trachea is nothing but respiratory system. Once you go through the respiratory system, see this is the respiratory system. So these are the lungs. So this one we will call C-shaped rings are present in the trachea. So this trachea contains C-shaped rings, complete trachea, bronchi. Even bronchi is also made up of cartilaginous bone. It is made up of cartilaginous bone, and here also tip is also made up of cartilaginous bones, and joints are also made up of cartilaginous bones. Okay, so we will call it as ikkada bone, mainly ear pinna. This is completely cartilaginous. The bone here in this movement in the joints regions only we have this kinds of bones. In the fingers also we have number of joints. Okay, so this bone, white color bone, little bit smooth bone, we are calling that bone as articular bone. Okay, so articular bone. 1 second ma. Yeah, articular bone, this is called as articular bone. The bones are joined with this bone and this bone. Compulsory movement should be there with the coordination, certain coordination. So a bone should be joined with a fluid compulsory. So what is that fluid? Fluid synovial. Okay, fluid is present in that one. Mainly for the movement of our bone, fluid is present. So again this bone and this bone is joined with a ligament. What is this called? Ligament. So this is made up of a protein called as collagen. What is that called? Collagen protein. It is made up of collagen proteins. Okay, 1 second. It is made up of collagen proteins. See here, collagen protein. This ligament holds the bone firmly. It is holding the bone firmly, which is made up of collagen proteins. When we move, it is flexible. Our bones are flexible, but this is not falling down away. Even if they fall, how can they fall away down? Compulsory muscles are holding that one. Okay, muscles are mainly, see here, the bone is connected with number of muscle sides. Okay, na. So this is a connective tissue, and it is connected with the, it is holded with the muscles. It is holded with the muscles. Different types of muscles we have. It is holded with the muscles compulsory. So compulsory, here it is holding with the muscle, here also it is holding with the muscle completely. It is hold, the tendon joins the muscle to the bone. So who is joining? This is the muscle, I said, this is the bone. The joint between the muscle, and bone, the joint between the muscle and bone, we will call it as tendons. Okay na. So this is the bone, let's think. Okay, so this is the muscles, this is the muscle I have drawn here with single striped I have drawn one. Not in this way, you have number of muscles. Okay, number of muscles are present. So this is the bone. This is bone is joined with the joined with a tendon. Even this tendon is also made up of collagen proteins. It is also made up of collagen proteins. Another tissue, connective tissue we have, that is blood. Okay, we will talk about the blood later. Now we will go into another topic called as muscular tissue, muscle tissues. Okay, so if you go for muscle tissues, muscular tissues, if you go for muscular tissue, these are three types: striated muscles, second one is non striated muscles, and third one is cardiac muscles. Okay, striated muscles, mitochondria. See here, muscles here, muscular tissue. This muscular tissue is giving compulsory a it is connecting the bone compulsory. It is giving support for the bones, complete for the body. It is supported with the muscular tissue itself. This muscular tissue, these muscles, whatever muscles we have, that is of three types. Okay, so mainly what is the function of muscles? Contraction, relaxation. Contraction, relaxation, compulsory. Contraction, relaxation. Sometimes if we meet with a certain accident, what is happening? Some part of flesh is going away. Okay, if let's think this part of the flesh has gone away, after few days like that only the depression or like a basin it will be here. No, it is getting filled with the skin or the tissue. It is getting filled with the tissue. Actually they have given the regenerating capacity in your textbook, but according to me I will tell you that there the cell division has occurred. Okay, those what happened, the cell division has occurred. Actually during an accident this part has gone away. Okay, let's think. So but this gets filled with number of cells again by the process called as mitosis. By the process called as mitosis. There are two types of cell divisions ma. One is mitosis, another one is meiosis. Okay, here whatever the skin part and other than reproductive systems, so reproductive systems, they are getting divided with the help of mitosis. So they get regenerated, the cells get regenerated there with the help of cell division called as mitosis. Okay, so when the muscles, compulsory these muscles are helpful in the movement of our body, contraction relaxation is must. Okay, due to this contraction relaxation, cellular respiration and body mechanism metabolism remains stable, healthy. By that what is happening, heat is released. What is happening ma? Heat is released from our body. That time when during the movement of muscles, heat is released. By that what happens, compulsory heat is released means cellular respiration has occurred, heat will be releasing in the form of ATP. When we walk, we will tell that energy is utilized when we walk, and also energy is released ma. ATP is also released by utilizing the glucose whatever we had. Compulsory what we are eating, we are utilizing by the movement of contraction and relaxation of the muscles. By that heat is also one of the end product which is released. So these muscular tissues of three types: striated muscles, non-striated muscles and cardiac muscles. So striated muscles, these striated muscles are unbranched. Okay, these are branched. These are branched. Branched means it is like this. These are branched only. See here, muscular fibers. These muscular fibers, striated muscles. One second. This is unbranched only. Sorry, this is unbranched. Unbranched means, see here, branching means this is one muscle linked with the another in this way. Okay, see here, one striated fiber of muscle branched with the another. Here this is completely one muscle stripes, they are not branched, these are not branched. Okay, so these are unbranched striated muscles. Mainly these are also called as skeletal muscles, and dark and light bands. Can you see here, little bit light color bands are present and dark color bands are present. See here, these are light color bands, okay, these are dark bands. Means striated muscles contains light bands, dark bands with the mitochondria, and cytoplasm is present in the complete cells of muscles, and there are number of nucleus. See here, single cell contains single nuclei. Here it contains multi-nucleus. So many number of nucleus are present. Okay na, so many number of nucleus are present. That's why I have written as multi-nucleus. See here, whatever the covering, outermost covering of the cell, this is the cell, single cell. Let's think from here to here. It contains light bands, dark bands. These are light bands and these are dark bands. What it is containing? What is the membrane called as sarcolemma? Here generally in our cell we will call it as plasma membrane. Here we are calling it as a sarcolemma. Okay, where these are present? Mostly striated muscles generally are present in the limb regions. Means legs, thighs, and these hands we will call it as a limb regions. In this region these muscles are present. So what is happening? These muscles are voluntarily moved. See here, voluntary movement means consciously moving. I want to move like this. When I want to write only, my brain is saying that you just write there. That time it means response to stimuli. I am writing here, I am responding, my hand is responding to my brain. Okay, who has sent the information from here to muscle? Okay na, compulsory nervous system. Again nervous system is bringing the, nerve cell is bringing the message from the brain to the muscle, and we are moving. See, this movement of muscle is voluntarily, consciously done, not consciously, means unconsciously it is not seen. Okay, now consciously movement of muscles, those muscles will call it as the striated muscles. There are non-striated muscles mainly here. Single, this is single cell, single cell, so which is containing a nucleus. Okay, in this a long stripe like structures are present, those we will call it as myofibrils, and inside whatever cytoplasm generally we will call, but here we are calling it as sarcoplasm. For normal cell we will call it as cytoplasm, here we are calling it as sarcoplasm. It has a nucleus and this has a plasma membrane. It is just like a sickle shape with the pointed ends, okay. These are involuntary muscles, means not under our consciousness. See here, heartbeat. Now I am speaking, did my heartbeat stop there? Pumping of heart stopped? No, it is going on pumping. Did I say yes, now I am teaching the class, you just start my heart pumping? Even digestive system, just now I had tiffin, now you start, just like a on and off button is present. No, automatically they are functioning. Automatically those are functioning without our sense itself, consciousness itself. That time that type of muscles we are calling it as involuntary muscles. Another muscles we have, this is the cardiac muscle. These are branched. See here, we have number of cardiac muscles. Compulsory contraction, relaxation of the heart has to be seen. So this movement of heart is done by the cardiac muscles itself. Cardiac muscles, these are branched here. See here, we can see branches. Compulsory, it contains, see here, with nucleus. Okay, these are called as cross sections. See here, cross sections, these whatever this present in this cardiac muscle, this is cardiac muscle, these are called as cross sections. Intercalated discs are also present, like these discs are present, those are called as intercalated disc. Okay, even we have nucleus in the center, nucleus in the cells. Okay, na, nucleus in the cells. So these, there are also completely these muscles also contain one type of cells called as myocytes. See here, whatever cells present in the muscular tissue, those we are calling as myocytes. Cytes means cells, myocytes, which are present mostly in the cardiac muscles. Okay, so cardiac contraction, relaxation occurs with the help of these muscles only. Even when the complete contraction, or when they stop the contraction and relaxation, when the process stops, we can tell that heart is arrested and the person will die. Okay, so this is about the muscular tissues. Compulsory muscular tissue is much important to our body. Contraction, relaxation of our body can be done with the muscles itself. Few people will be suffering from the heart arrest, at last they will die. Okay, after heart arrest. Another one is paralysis. That time they may not, one hand and one leg movement may not see. Okay, sometimes the people vertebral column, if any accident happens to the spinal cord, those persons also can't move. So that is also much important, can't move the abdomen region. So movement is compulsory needed for our healthy body. Okay, so this is about the muscular tissue. I'll tell about blood and nervous tissue in the next class. Thank you.